Welcome to DRSN from the high banks of Alabama. Welcome to Talladega Speedway, where speed is expected and chaos is guaranteed. We're here with the Dega Pro Stars and Stripes Series taking center stage tonight. 40 laps of pack racing intensity, and we've got some of the best super speedway racers on all of iRacing here with us tonight. Three wide battles, last lap runs on a field hungry for the win. There's money on the line tonight, $125 for the winner, 100 for second, 100 for third. We're going to see who can come out here on top tonight. Who's got their friends, who's got their teammates. We see quite a few different teammate drivers here. We're getting qualifying started right now, actually. And right now, we got about 3 minutes left here in qualifying. A few cars out on the racetrack, and it's Carson Freeman. Carson Freeman right now at the top of the charts. Fast time with a 51.22. Right behind him, David Sheets and Tyler Vickery in the second and third spot. Charlie Morgan with a 5.14.23 is sitting in fourth. Chris Carter and Tim White. Tim White picked up a win this week in one of these money races with the MMS. Congratulations to Tim on his first win. You see a black. We're going to have a couple of different things you're going to see pop up on the screen tonight. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to have some notifications popping up all throughout the night. You'll find out when if anybody's disqualified, black flag, meatball flags, lead changes, and the EOLs, lucky dog, wave around, so on. That's got a little notification box down there, all courtesy of our buddy Shane Cochran over at Collateral. So my name is Chris Murphy with DRSN. Really happy to be here with you tonight. Thanks for joining us for 40 laps of action. They're going to start off with 50% fuel, so we're expecting two pit stops here tonight, and one green-white checkered if we need it. So one overtime if we get to that point. So we've got about, looks like I'm counting here, if I can count that high, looks like we got about maybe 22 to 24 cars here. As normal, we see a lot of drivers don't even bother qualifying in these super speedways. You know, these guys have done this race together so much here that it really doesn't even matter sometimes where you qualify at. You're going to start in the back, you make your way to the front. I see we've got some of our Dega Pros teammates in here in McCullough Motorsports. I got a couple Jack Shack drivers here tonight. NBG, I see Matthew Baker's here with us tonight in the 5 car, but right now we're looking at Brandon Sillick's on the racetrack. He is going to come across the line at 59.54.70. It's not going to be any better than 12th spot, so 12th for Brandon there in the 808. Looks like he needs a sponsor. Looking to sponsor a race car, check out Brandon right there in the 808. He looks like he's looking for a sponsor. So we've got about a minute here left to go in qualifying. We'll get gridded up, bring you the starting lineup. Collateral Damage Sports Network. That's my buddy Shane Cochran with all these fancy overlays you're going to see tonight. AI Chief just came on board tonight with DRSN. Sponsor for the broadcaster, AI Chief. If you looking for a little advantage with your pit stops, with your pit strategy, with your spotter calls and all that different stuff, AI Chief, check them out at AIChiefRacing.com. Get signed up and use the code DRSN. It's a pretty cool app. I use it when I'm racing, and it's got a couple different settings on it. You can have your crew chief, it's got a savage setting or a nice setting. They can do whatever you want on it, so it's pretty cool. Check it out. Check out AI Chief. All right, so qualifying wrapping up right now. Still Carson Freeman in the 4 car. He's back on the racetrack, but he has the pole right now at 51.224. Right behind him is David Sheets at a 51.225. So pretty close, pretty tight up top. We always expect that here in qualifying. So it looks like out of our 26 drivers, we got maybe 15 to put a lap down. Michael Dunn going to go across the line in the 62. Reese's Pieces sponsored, going to run a 54.60. We also see Josh Allen out here on the racetrack. That is going to wrap up qualifying. You see checkered flag is in the air. Qualifying is going to come to an end. All right, got a little bit of grid up time here. They've got it set for 10 minutes, but I'm sure they're going to advance that right now because they're expecting me to fill 10 minutes of time. I don't think they're... Let's see here. Oh, actually, looks like we're qualifying now. I thought that was qualifying. Did they reset it? All right, we're qualifying again, I guess. So we got 10 minutes here left in qualifying. All right, take a look here at Derek Raleigh. I love this Bobby Allison throwback. Number 17 out on the racetrack, Coca-Cola sponsor for Derek. Nice livery right there. This has got to be some kind of warm-up or something. I think they've been qualifying. We'll see how this shakes out. But Derek out there on the racetrack, and that's a good looking job. I'm not sure who painted that, but I really like that throwback. Alright, so it looks like this is going to be qualifying. Let's see if we can send a message to race control. So as usual, most of these guys like to leave us guessing a little bit. But it does say qualifying up there, so we're going to go with it. This is qualifying, so we can see Tim White on the racetrack in the 239. I know Tim's got a new paint job for some of his cars. Doesn't look like he got this one done. Dylan Jones with a black flag here must have come up across the blend line or was speeding off pit row, the 27 there of Dylan Jones. It seems like every time I see Dylan, he's got a little different livery, different car number. I think he just uses whatever car number he jumps in with. So Derek Raleigh out here on the racetrack right now. He's going to get a first lap in here, it looks like. So he's going to roll off of turn number 4 through the tri-oval section across the line. And right now it's Derek Raleigh at the, or right, is it Raleigh or Raleigh? Somebody chime into chat there and fix it if you don't know. Appreciate you jumping into the chat there. Matt, really appreciate that, buddy. I'm sorry, Devin. I don't know if your mom's here or not, but appreciate you being in there anyway. All right, let's see if we can find anybody else out on the racetrack. We see Tim White right here. And you can see the key right here in qualifying is just down on that yellow line. Come through the tri-oval section here, get down on the apron actually. Is going to be your best time. Merck's going to cross the line with a 54.50, puts him on the pole now. Here comes Tim White up to second. Looks like he's on my 2-digit. It's going to be a tie. We'll pull this up here. A 54.497 for Merck, a 54.504 for White. So about 7 thousandths of a second, or 7 milliseconds, as they might say. Got Carl Lingle out there on the racetrack as well. That's a sharp-looking chrome. I like that one. I haven't seen the combined copper and silver chrome there before. It looks really good there. Appreciate you guys participating in the chat right there. All right, take a look here at the number 3 of Terry Wilson. Man, there's a lot of chrome out here tonight. Hope it's not under the lights. It might blind me. The Wilson and Dunn out here on the racetrack. Michael Dunn comes across the line at 54.64. No better than 6th for him. You see Carson Freeman back here on the racetrack in the number 4. We just had a little practice calling qualifying earlier. We get to recall it again. So here's Carson Freeman now. What's at the top of the charts? I guess that was a practice qualifying run. And you can see right here at Talladega, these guys that run the super speedway, this is all most of these guys do every night, all week long. They're running multiple money races here on the super speedways. They know exactly where to qualify. You see Freeman right there, right on the yellow line. He drifts up just a little bit, about a half a car width off of 2 down the back straightaway. But you'll see him right back down the line as he heads into 3. So we'll just keep an eye right here on. Actually, we'll just see if we can jump in the. There we go. You can see just right there on the yellow line, a double yellow line for Freeman. That's where you want to beat through these corners. Now watch him as he comes off of 4, heads down to this tri-oval section. We're going to watch him right here. He's going to jump down onto the apron, right there as close to get to the grass as he can without getting off into it. Just get on that flat part of the racetrack. It's going to be the shortest round, and Freeman's going to come across the line. Let's see where he goes on the charts. Fifth place for Carson Freeman. I think he's going to finish it off in glory here. Carson Freeman are going to qualify in 5th. We see the 8 of David Sheets now out on the racetrack, getting his lap in. We've got about 4.5 minutes left to go here in qualifying. My name's Chris Murphy with DRSN. Dega Pros reached out to us a little bit ago, asked us to be here. Actually, Dega Pros, the race tonight being brought to you by Charlie Morgan. Charlie was in this race here somewhere in the 69. He's not quite out on the racetrack yet, but appreciate Charlie reaching out to us. And John Ward at Dega Pros having us here tonight. It's still Jeff Merck with fast time here in qualifying. We're looking for, and we kind of missed Matthew Baker's lap. Matthew's going to come across at a 54.501, so he knocks Tim White down to 3rd. Baker's now up to 2nd. as we can see on the racetrack, Malik Ray here in the 88. And actually, that's kind of nice. He's actually got the right... so many times these guys are jumping around from different liveries and stuff like that. Sometimes the car numbers don't match the scoreboard to what's on the race car. So Malik Ray out here in the 88 Mountain Dew sponsored car. Also on the racetrack, Richard Elliott, David Sheets, J.R. Miller in the 78 Kodiak sponsored car. Keep an eye on Malik Ray here. You see just how close he is to that yellow line. Let's see if he drifts up off a 2 like we saw Freeman do earlier, or does Malik stay right tight down to the line? And he drifts up a little bit wider than Freeman. Actually, he's about 2 car widths off the bottom, maybe a little bit more. So we'll keep an eye on Ray here, see what he comes across the stripe. A lot of times, a lot of these races I've watched, you don't even see Malik even qualify, so he's going to get a lap in here. You know, some of these guys I think the safest place to be is at the back, but I really think the safest place to be at the front if you can get there. And J.R. Miller goes to the top of the charts with a 54.490. David Sheets right there behind him at a 493, but here comes Malik Ray across the line. Can he better either one of those times? Down on the apron, going to come across the stripe. We'll keep an eye on his lap time. And Malik Ray is going to take the pole, 54.477. At least for now, there's still a few more cars on the racetrack, but Malik Ray with a great lap there knocks J.R. Miller down to second. We see Richard Elliott out here on the racetrack in the 0-2. We're going to check out a couple new graphics we got here from McCullough Motorsports drivers. Richard Elliott, Josh McCullough, and Mark Vondell here with us. McCullough and Vondell yet to qualify, so Elliott out there on the racetrack. Charlie Morgan also out. Going to get his lap in the 69. I think Elliott's going to come across the lap. He is going to, you see him coming through the trial. He's going to come across the line and see where Richard goes. 4th place for Richard Elliott, 54.494, just a thousandths of a second behind David Sheets there. So Richard Elliott going to start outside his second row, at least right for right now. We've got about a minute and a half left to go. And we've got Charlie Morgan out on the racetrack, and we've also got Matthew Patton. So Matt Pat here in the 3 car. So it looks like maybe 2 more cars going to get a lap in, and that looks like it's going to be it. So Morgan's going to come across the line. Let's see where he goes here. He looked like a pretty strong lap. He's going to come across the stripe. Charlie Morgan, no better than 9th for Charlie Morgan at 54.512. I mean, you look at the whole field right there. We're separated by less than about a tenth and a half from 1st to 13th right now. And we've got at least, looks like maybe about 15 drivers that haven't even made a lap, but we got Matthew Patton out here on the racetrack now in the number 3. He makes his way through the trial section. He's not going to go down on the apron like we've seen some other drivers, or is he still in his warm-up lap here? Let's see. Okay, so that was still his out lap, so he's now going to get his push lap in. He's down on the bottom of the racetrack. Just right along here, and you can see just how close you want to be to that line through the corners. And Patton driving about the same pattern we saw Malik Ray, about 2 car widths off the bottom of the racetrack. So let's see how this plays out for him. Watch him head down into turn 3. Take the car right back to the line, and it's a really fine line right here. You want to be as close to that line as you can, but if you touch that apron, it's going to cost you tenths of a second. So let's see what Matthew Patton does here as he rolls through 3 and 4. So Matt Patton in the 3 car comes across the tri-oval just like we've seen so many other drivers do, across the apron. Let's see where it puts him at. It's going to be the last car to get a lap in. Matthew Patton up to 6 at a 54.50. So we have 14 of our drivers qualify. Looks like we've got a total of about 27 here tonight here for this ARCA race at Talladega. 27 cars here are going to take the green flag. We're going to get gridded up here. All right, about a minute and a half here to get everybody out on the starting grid. And we'll be right back with your starting lineup here for the Dega Pros ARCA at Talladega. Stars and Stripes Friday night for Dega Pros. All right, we are back, and as the cars are getting on the starting grid, we're going to start at 27 cars deep, so we're going to get started with our starting lineup here. So the last couple times they did this, I was still calling them when they were getting ready to go green. So on the pole in the 88, it's going to be Malik Ray. Outside in the 78, going to be J.R. Miller. Back in the second row, David Sheets. In the number 8, Richard Elliott. McCullough Motorsports, number 02, going to start in the 4 spot. Back to row number 3, it's Jeff Merck in the 60. Matthew Patton outside of him in the number 3. Back in 7th, inside of row number 4, Matthew Baker and Tim White. In the 5th row, Carl Lingle and Charlie Morgan. Another Dega Pros back here in the 11th spot, Carson Freeman and Derek Raleigh. In the Bobby Allison throwback number 17, we're going to get back to row number 7. Terry Wilson and Michael Dunn. Starting in the 15th starting spot is going to be Freddie Bassinis and Dylan Jones. Watch these guys come to the front of this one. Back in 17, Trevor Oshmanoff and John Ward. I'm going to get that. I might just have to call him Trevor on that. Jack Shack and Dega Pro side by side in row number 9. Back to row number 10 in the 19th starting spot, Justin Melikar and Joshua McCullough starting in 20th. In the 21st starting spot in the 23, Matt Lee and Tyler Vickery outside of him in the 26th, or excuse me, the 22nd starting spot. Back to row number 12, it's a 17 of Christopher Carter and Joseph Allen in the Davey Allison throwback number 28. Mark Vondell starting 25th and Ambrose Niebel in the 26th starting spot. Back in 27th, Brandon Silex and Nathan Harper. The long way back for Harper. Watch him try to get to the front. And that is going to be our last row. So 14 rows here tonight at Talladega with the Arca. We're going to get up here to the front. We see Malik Ray down here on the bottom. All right, so the key tonight, stay out of trouble. Miss the incidents. Find your friend. Get to the front. If you're not already in the front, get to the front or just stay in the back and stay out of trouble. So we're definitely going to see at least 2 cautions. We don't usually see a lot of these races go green checkered. I think we've seen it at least once. But I would expect here tonight to have at least 1 caution. But this is going to be who misses that incident, who makes it through. As we take a look here at Ray on the pole, we look back through the field. And I think Harper, I don't see Harper or John Ward on the racetrack. Maybe John's just going to... I think John's just going to race control here, so he is not in the race. So I see Harper and Ward both not on the grid. All right, so we got 26 cars starting. We're going to roll through 3 and 4 here, come to the green flag. We're going to turn off that pass for the lead for right now. That might get kind of crazy here at on these super speedways, so I think we'll just leave that one off for right now. All right, Malik Ray and J.R. Miller on the front row. David Sheets, Richard Elliott, Jeff Merck, Matt Patton, and Matthew Baker. iRacing Ford Mustang pace car is going to make a hard left turn down pit road here. We're just a few hundred feet away from green flag here at Talladega on a Friday night with the Dega Pro Stars and Stripes Series. Malik Ray, J.R. Miller, David Sheets, Richard Elliott, your top 4. Green is in the air. The first of 40 laps has started. Malik Ray with a good jump on the bottom of the racetrack, but here comes Miller. Malik got a little bit too much of a jump on Sheets. I can see the outside line of Miller and Elliott. And Ray does a good job of jumping up to the top to block off that outside line. So the 88 up to the top of the racetrack. Watch him go down to the bottom. Can he see that run coming soon enough? No, he's not going to be able to get down in front of Sheets. So Sheets has got a good push from Merck in the 60. They're going to come off of turn number 2. They're side by side. We're 2 by 2 all the way back about 27 cars deep. Malik Ray, David Sheets, J.R. Miller, Merck, and it looks like Harper maybe did rake it on the racetrack, but he's got a little bit of an incident. So we're going to see coming up on the first lap right here, Malik Ray and David Sheets. Sheets looking to lead first lap. Merck with a good push right there behind him. Now, these Arca cars are a little more finicky than some of these other cars we run on the super speedways. That you get locked up with some of these cars, and you just can't keep pushing and pushing and pushing. You see Miller with a good bump right there, but you kind of got to let the guy go a little bit, or you'll turn him around. I know they did a little bit of changes on the update. Oh, Miller going to take a good look to the bottom. He's going to move to the inside, but it's quite a ways back to Sheets. Elliott gets shuffled out of the mix. He's up to the top of the racetrack. I see Raleigh up there coming up behind him trying to give him some help, but he's quite a ways back. Action shaping up here at the top, at the front of the field. Malik Ray back to the front. Matthew Patton right there behind him. Miller down there on the bottom of the racetrack, and there goes Pat, and he sees an opening. He gets down in front of Miller. He takes the inside line. Malik Ray now to the outside. He has got the 239. Tim White shoving him right there behind him, and Matthew Baker in the 5. That bottom line's getting pretty... Oh, somebody... So Freeman with a nice move from the top to the bottom. Merck stuck in the middle of the racetrack. He's in the sucker hole. Here comes Derek Riley going to try to help him out. Looks like Riley's just helping everybody out he can right there. Malik Ray was... Oh, we're going to start crashing. I see Baker's involved. Elliott's involved in it. Charlie Morgan. I saw Tim White also involved. Heavy contact for Elliott right there. Did not see what happened, but you can see the 5 of Baker all tore up down there. So our first incident here. I did see Richard Elliott. It looks like Joshua McCullough also involved in it. Tyler Vickery, some heavy damage I saw on the front of the 239 at Tim White. We got a beat ball flag there for Matt Baker in the 5. Let's see if we can go back here and see what happened. All right, so we can look up around the outside of the racetrack. You can see Elliott. Let's see if we can... All right, so Elliott's up around the outside of the racetrack. He's behind Freeman right now. And this half starts way up in front because Tim White's right there in second. Baker's right there behind him, so White... Giving Malik a shove right there. See if we can find a good angle here. You can see Tim White there in the 239. I have to change my rewind time. I'm back a little far here. We're watching the whole race all over again. And it looks like, let's rewind that just a little bit. I hate having to use the rewind button, but it's usually the easiest way to get to where you want to go. So it looked like Baker kind of got to the outside. And Tim tried to move up the racetrack and came across the nose of the 5. We'll take a look here one more time. Maybe we can jump on board here with Baker. Let's go to the chase cam. There we go. Yeah, Baker just kind of got up onto the outside. I don't think Tim saw him there come up the racetrack just a little bit. Baker gets squeezed into the wall, so going three wide right there. Our first incident here tonight for the Dega Pros. Get back to live time. Let's see if anybody takes advantage. Where are we at? We're on lap 3. I don't think I'd expect anybody to pit, but we see the 5 car. Let's go look at that again. The 5 car Baker all tore up on pit road. He's trying to get as much repairs done as he can, or he might be done. So Baker may be done for this. We'll have to see how that works out, but it looks like maybe Tim White as well. All right, so it looks like everybody's going to come in and take advantage of this caution flag. Going to come in and take on some fuel. We're 3 laps in. We came across the line on the 4th lap here, so... And that looked like just a fuel-only stop, definitely for everybody right there. Ray with a quick stop. He was only in the pits there for 5.3 seconds. Right behind him there, Patton and Miller. We'll pull up our pit stats here. And everybody fuel-only. It looks like maybe Raleigh was in the pits long enough to take on 2. Carter maybe take on 4. That's kind of what it's looking at. By looking at our chart, by looking at our times right there. So, all right, so first caution flag here on lap number 3, and it looks like it's going to knock Tim White out of this race, or is he going to be still out here somewhere? We'll see. I think he's done. They're both still on pit road. So I see Baker and Tim White down there still on pit road. So 4 laps down, 36 left to go. We've got. I think we're going to see at least one more pit stop. I don't know if they can go to the end on here. They're running 50% fuel. If anybody knows there in the chat that knows the fuel mileage a little better here at Talladega, let me know. Look at our lap leaders here so far. We only ran 4, so only one driver's led a lap. Malik Ray's led all 5 so far. All right, so currently Your top 10 right now: Malik Ray, Matt Patton, J.R. Miller, David Sheets, Freddie Bassinis, Carl Lingle, Trevor Osworth, Justin Melikar, and Matt Lee and Tyler Vickers. So, good move up from the back we saw. Let me see, how many spots is Bassinis? He's up 10. Our biggest mover so far is the 59 of Von Dell, but Mark's going to come down and take on some fuel. So some of these guys back here in the back kind of waited towards the latter stage of this caution to come in here and top off with fuel. We'll see if that pays off for them later. So a bunch of drivers now down in the pits. You see the likes of, I see Trevor Osbornoff, Jones, Melikar, Von Dell, Chris Carter, Josh Allen, all down in the pits. I see Baker, Tim White still down there trying to get some repairs done. All right, so lights are out on the pace car. Another one of our sponsors, Corbin Matthews Country Music. If you love country music, check out Corbin Matthews. He's putting out some really great music. He's got some more songs coming out in the next few weeks. Check out Corbin Matthews on all of your streaming services. All right, Friday night Stars and Stripes Dega Pros brought to us tonight by Charlie Morgan. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network. We are happy to be here with you. Appreciate you being out there. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get ourselves to 500 subs. So if you haven't hit it yet, hit that subscribe button. Hit it twice. Hit it 3 times. Just pound it like it's a lottery machine. All right, so the 88 and the 3. Matthew Patton and Malik Ray all in the front row right now. Ray chose the outside. A lot of times on these super speedways, especially here at Talladega, you'll see that outside work a little bit better on the starts. That bottom usually takes a little bit of time to get going. See McCullough back here in the 5. Looks like he's got his repairs done. So it looks like the 3 drivers that got the worst of that were Terry Wilson, Matt Baker, and Tim White. Alright. Watch that. iRacing pace car is going to make this hard left-hand corner down pit road. We're going to come to the line here one more time at the start of lap number 6. 34 laps to go when we take the green flag. Ray up on the outside, Patton on the bottom. Good pace here to the starting zone, and it's going to be green flag in the air one more time after our first caution. I see somebody down the racetrack still with some damage. He's going to go up the racetrack. I'm not sure who that was, but Ray's going to get a jump. He is going to get out in front of Patton. Patton has to slide it behind him. Patton's not patient there. He saw the opening on the bottom. He dove down there, but he does not have that near enough help down there. But here comes Miller with a 78. Who is that way up on the outside up by themselves? But it's Ray and Patton right now. Miller with a good shove on the bottom. Is that Bassinis in the 48 up there? I can't quite tell who that is. It looks like the 18 of Nathan Harper. So Harper, we're 3 wide right now. So Harper's found that outside line. He basically started from pit road, and he has found his way up into the top 10 right now, and he's got that third line going. Bassinis looks to the outside in the 48. He's going to take that middle row going, but Patton thinks the better of it. He is going to jump up right in front of him, so Patton takes away that middle line. And right now that middle line looks to be the strongest, but here comes Harper on the outside. He's got a little bit of help. You see your leaders, they see that outside line coming. They're going to move back up there to take it away, but here goes Patton back down to the bottom one more time, so Patton just jumping all around trying to find a friend, but I think he jumped down a little too soon because here comes that outside line now with Bassinis and Malik Ray and the 18 of Harper. We are side by side down the back straightaway into 3. Freddie Bassinis started back in 15th. He's now got the lead. He's got Malik Ray behind him in the 88. Matthew Patton down on the bottom with J.R. Miller. They head through 3 and 4 here one more time. Off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, it is Freddie Bassinis. 3 wide for second with Ray, and that's the... Who's that in the middle? That is the 89 of Trevor Osbornoff right there. He's now down on the bottom of the racetrack. Nice move through the middle. Sets the fastest lap of the race right there, the 89. That outside line's pretty organized with Freddie Bassinis and Malik Ray teammates. They've got the Jack driver of Nathan Harper right behind him. looks like about everybody on the racetrack. 23 cars all in this lead draft right now. A little bit of contact right from the 17. He's going to get it gathered up. All right, and it looks like this outside line is really where you want to be. That bottom line has not been able to gain up enough momentum. Bassinus, Ray Harper, Oswernoth, Michael Dunn now. And here comes Matthew Patton on the outside. Matthew, if there's a hole, I don't think Matt's not seen a hole he hasn't gone for yet. If there's an opening, he's going to go there. Matthew Patton up on the outside. He is now stuck behind Harper, though. And here comes that bottom line, the 89. Little side draft going on there for Bassinus and Oswernoth. And that middle line gets a little bit hung up. And here comes Malik Ray back on the outside. He's got help from Harper in the 18. Patton right there, the 17 of Raleigh. Let's see if that bottom line can find a little advantage here coming off of 4. Watch Ray or Harper dive down to try to balk off that line from the bottom if he sees them coming. 3 wide off of 4. One more time. Going to come across the line to complete lap number 9. Or excuse me, lap number 10 right now. Malik Ray's definitely led the most laps right now. The 18 of Harper started back in 28th. Basically started dead last in his field. Is now up to 2nd. It just goes to show you here at Talladega, it really doesn't matter where you start. If you can find some help and find some teammates, you can make your way to the front. And Patton now back to the bottom. He blocks out that inside line. He gets underneath Harper for 2nd. We got a blinker right there. That looks like that Bassinus in the 48. Kind of blinking on and off. That makes it pretty tough to know where that guy's going to be. It's bad enough with a little net code, but when the car's blinking in front of you, you don't know where to go. So right now, Patton, Oswernoth, Bassinus, Melikar, Ray, and Harper on the outside. Freddie Bassin's going to move up. He sees that outside line coming. He is going to jump up there in front of the 88. That kind of leaves Patton and Oswernoth out there by themselves. Oh, we're going to get turned. The 3-car, Matt Patton, gets turned off the nose of the 89. I just looked away from the screen for a second and saw the 3-car spinning. I'm going to have to go back and see exactly what happened, but it looked like it's some kind of contact right there, maybe a little off-center push. We'll go back and take a quick look at it as we're getting grouped back up. But Patton with some heavy damage there. All right, we'll go back and take a quick look at it. So we can see the 89 here right on the back of the 3. We'll just go live. We'll just go in real time with it here. You can see 89 just kind of gets a little off center. The 3. Oh no, it was actually contact behind from the 48 from Bassinus that actually turned Oswernoth down into Patton right there. So we'll take here another look at it one more time now that we can kind of see what happened. So watch the 48 up on the outside of the racetrack. Let's see if he gets a shove here that gets him sideways. No. Actually, it looks like the 89 kind of tried to come up and block that run from the outside and was a little bit late. That caused the contact with the 89 and the 48 right there, and that turned down into the 3. So Matt Patton kind of out there in the front by himself. He is going to take the worst of this. The 62 is going to come and pile into this one as well. So unfortunate there for Matthew Patton. He had a really good run going. They're still crashing back here in the back. All right, so we're going to take a quick little break here. We've got a couple of caution laps. We're on lap number 12 of 40. But we're going to take a quick break. A word here from our new sponsor here, AI Chief.
Are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
We're back to live time. AI Race Chief, you're looking for some help with your crew chiefing abilities, check out AI Chief. Use the code DRSN at checkout. All right, we're back here under our second caution of the night. Malik Ray out in front. Let's see, looks like we've lost. We see how many cars have we lost here. It looks like Tim White's out of this race, Baker out of the race, Terry Wilson looks to be, if he's not out, he's way out of contention. Matthew Patton now down a few laps. If he's back on the racetrack, no, I think Patton's done as well. All right, we're gonna go green here. Lights are still on the pace cars. We're gonna go run at least one more time. Heck, I should have played one more commercial. Appreciate y'all participating in the YouTube chat tonight. Really appreciate you being here with us. Happy to be here on a Friday night with Dega Pros. We try to get in and cover as many of these money races as we can during the week, whenever we have the opportunity. But you know, if you're looking for a league to cover a special race, check us out here at DRSN. We can do just about anything from mini stocks to sprint cars to late models on the dirt to road courses, GT3 endurance, whatever you got, we can take care of it. So check us out over there. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. But reach out if you got something race you need covered. Reach out to us. We'll do our best to help you out. Our next event for DRSN live event anyway is going to be Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. If you like some dirt racing, be here for that one. Some of the top dirt racers, sprint car drivers in all of iRacing running that Dirty Old Bastards League. We had a great show last week at Knoxville. This week we're going to be at Houston Speedway, so a little short track action. Expect for a lot of action there tonight, or on Tuesday night, sorry. So be here at 9 o'clock Eastern Tuesday night for the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. And we come back on Thursday for the Nitro Racing League Craftsman Truck Series at Iowa, so a little short track action on Thursday night with the trucks at Iowa as well. So, but in the meantime, we are on the Super Speedway. No short track action here. And we got some Super Speedway experts out there on the racetrack: Malik Ray, Nathan Harper, Matt Lee, Derek Raleigh, David Sheets, Carl Engel. That is our top 6 right now. Lights are out on the pace car. So we are going to go green here one more time after our second caution flag here came out on about lap number 11. We come across the line, we're going to have 15 down, 25 to go. Malik Ray, Nathan Harper going to bring us to the line. And this time Ray took the bottom. He took the top on the last restart. He is going to go to the bottom. We'll see how that plays out for him. I think that outside line is going to get organized pretty well, but Ray does have the 23 of Lee right there behind him. All right. Once again, we come to the end of pit road, and what happens here? The pace car is going to make a hard left-hand turn down into the pits. Driver's going to be holding that throttle about 75 mile an hour here as we come to the trioval section. Watch Malik Ray here, see if he can get a jump on the 18 of Harper. I'm kind of rooting for the 17, that Bobby Allison throwback, number 17. And Ray does get a good jump right there. It looks like Harper might have spun the tires just a little bit. Matt Lee actually couldn't keep up with Lee either, so the two of them down on the bottom. Ray jumps up to the top to cover off that run from Harper and the 17 of Raleigh. And that leaves Lee kind of stuck down on the bottom by himself until Sheets catches up with him. So he's got Sheets and Dylan Jones there in the 23. Going to come up and give that bottom line a little bit of help. But off of turn number 2, it is Malik Ray on the outside. Nathan Harper right there behind him. And we are 2 by 2. I see somebody back there with some heavy damage still on the nose. He's still in this race, but he's going to lose a draft here in a hurry. Off of turn 2, Ray Harper, Carter. Carter now in the 13s, found his way up to third. Love the shot down the back straightaway. Or off of 4 anyway. Cross the trioval one more time. We got two 17s in this race. Who's that bottom? And that bottom one is Derek. Let's see, got two 17s side by side. That's Ray and Carter. So I'm not sure what Carter's down there on the bottom in the purple and the white 17. The 17 on the outside is Derek Raleigh. Carter down on the apron does a good job of transitioning up without losing it. Raleigh's going to go down to the bottom of the racetrack to take that line away. He has cut off that bottom run, but not enough help. That outside still well organized with the top 4, Ray Harper. Freeman now in third and Silex, but Ray's going to drop down to the bottom to pick up Freeman, leaves Harper on the outside. It looks like Ray's just going to check out. He's going to go to the outside here, but these guys fight for the lead, so I'm not sure what that move was right there. But he just kind of got out of line and going to go to the back of this. All right, we'll see how this plays out for Malik Ray. So he's led most of this race. He just kind of gave up the lead right there. So I'm going to go to the back, guys. You fight it out. And that is going to leave Freeman and Silex now side by side. Silex with Harper right behind him. Freeman has the... Who's that behind Freeman down there on the bottom? It looks like the 62. The 62 involved in a pretty heavy incident earlier, but he's now grouped back up towards the front of the field. Silex dancing around from the bottom to the top. He goes up to the middle to cover off Riley, back down to the bottom to get in front of Harper. And we are 3 wide from about 4th on back right now. Silex, Harper, Freeman, Dunn in the 62. A nice run from Dunn. He was involved in a heavy incident earlier. Used his fast repair. He's now up here battling for lead. We're 3 wide back to the back. Here comes Osmanoff now after getting turned around, or after being involved in that last caution flag. He's coming to the front. He's got the 84 Millicar with him. They come by on the outside. A great run off of 4. They're coming all the way to the front. Freeman goes up to cover up that outside line. But here comes Osmanoff and Millicar right there with him. Brandon Silex, he's had the last couple of laps, but that outside line is coming. Here comes Carson Freeman. Trevor Osmanoff right there behind him. Justin Millicar as well in the 84. So we got Jack Shack teammates up here running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Dega Pro's driver Carson Freeman out in front. Harper down on the bottom trying to bring along the 23 of Matt Lee along with him. And Freeman's going to dance up and down here to find the best line. Unfortunately, I think he kind of got himself stuck in the middle of the middle there. Didn't get up across up that outside line fast enough. And here comes the bottom. Here comes Nathan Harper. They come off of turn number 4. Harper looking to get to the front. Started dead last in his field. He's looking for the lead. Freeman to the middle. He doesn't have any help down there. He's all by himself in the sucker hole. Freeman's going to go backwards here. Get up here to the front one more time. It is Harper. Oh, I didn't have my tower. There we go. Osmanoff now back up on the outside. Millicar right there with him. Harper, Matt Lee. Matt Lee's getting his way up to the front of this field. We're going to come across the line here. Complete lap number 20. We're halfway through this 40-lap race. 20 down, 20 to go. Trevor Osmanoff and Justin Millicar. Nathan Harper on the bottom. Matt Lee, the 62 of Michael Dunn, also up here in this fight. Where did Ray go? Ray fell back to 18, so he's kind of just cruising around there in the back of the field right now. All right, that outside line's had a little bit of a run into 3, but here comes the bottom one more time. Osmanoff going to try to get down there, but not able to get down to block off the run. He's going to stick right there with Millicar in the 84. They've got the 17 of Carter right there with him as well, so you can see a little bit of advantage to the trioval section for that outside line. The bottom falling back just a little bit, but watch that bottom come charging back as they get into 1. They're definitely a little better organized in that outside line. It might be some of those guys on the outside getting a little hot. You can see Millicar maybe sticking his nose out to get a little bit of air. Who's that in the middle of the racetrack? That looks like that's Derek Raleigh there in the 17. Kind of stuck there in the middle. Osmeroth up to the top. He'd gone down to the bottom to pick up Freeman there and then jumps way up to the top, up in front of Mellicar. If I'd have tried to do that, I'd have parked the whole field right there. So that's why I'm in the booth and not out there on the racetrack with these guys tonight. Osmeroth, Mellicar, Carter on the outside. Freeman, Harper down there at the bottom. 19 laps left to go. Dega Pros Stars and Stripes Series here on a Friday night. A little after 11 o'clock on the East Coast. These guys are used to this, so that's all they do. They're on here every night running super speedway races. 17 of the, is that a Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsor on the Christopher car there? I think it is there. That's gonna make me hungry. There's always somebody's got a food sponsor on one of these cars. All right, here comes the inside line one more time. Freeman with the help of Harper in the 18. They come off of 4 here one more time. Going to come across the line to complete lap number 23. We'll have 17 laps left to go. I'm still expecting at least one more stop. One of these drivers is going to have to come in. And we'll see how this plays out. I see some guys way back here in the back. I see Bassinis lost the draft. Merck also lost the draft as well. I see Ray kind of still hanging back here. He's the last car in this lead draft. So Merck and Bassinis hoping for a caution flight to get caught back up if they don't have too much damage. A good side-by-side racing. As a matter of fact, they're going to come up on the 48 of Bassinis right now. Put them a lap down. You can see the 48 just right in front of our leaders. Oh, and we're going to go around. It looks like the 30. I see the 30 of Lingle involved. Also, Malik Gray coming around. He's going to miss it. The 62 of Dunn also involved in this. You can see some good damage there on that left front. I think we also had David Sheets involved. Some heavy damage there on the left side of the 30 of Lingle. That chrome don't look near as pretty as it did at the start of the night. All right, see if we can see what happened here. I might have started with Dunn here. Let's see if we can see what happened here. We see Dunn there in the 30. You can get a good camera angle over here. There we go. And it looks like Raleigh gets down on the bottom and gets in the 62. So I think, let's see if we can get on Raleigh here. Or Raleigh. All right, we'll take a look at it right here from this angle. And the 62 kind of comes up off that line. And Raleigh kind of comes down at the bottom. It's a little bit down, but I think it's more the 62 coming off the line is going to be the main cause of that right there. That's going to get the 17 and the 30 together. The 62 also get involved. I saw somebody else kind of shooting out on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Sheets in the 8. So the 62 have done. So the 88 of Malik Ray right there. You see a bunch of drivers taking evasive action down into the infield. The 28 of Allen. All right, so caution number 3 comes out here on lap number 24. Third caution flag of the night. All right, looks like that's going to give the opportunity for our drivers to come into the pits. We see our leader, Trevor Ostronoth, going to come down in. Everybody coming down to the pits. We got 16 laps left to go. I'm going to say with a safe bet, this is going to get all of our drivers to the end of this race. So we're going to step away here for another minute. We'll leave the split screen up for you, but we're going to get a little word here from admin box. Use the code DRSN-box, BOXX, for a discount at admin box. We'll be right back. right, we are back live. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for joining in. Third caution flag of the event here on lap 25. We're going to come across the line here. Lights are going to go out on the pace car. We'll get back to green flag racing one more time, and it's going to be Trevor Osmanoff, Justin Mellicar, Carson Freeman, Nathan Harper, Matt Lee, Dylan Jones, Christopher Carter, Joshua McCullough, Derek Raleigh, David Sheets, and Braden Silix. Malik Ray back there in the 12th spot. Darren Miller in 13th. Joseph Allen, Freddie Bassinet, and Carl Lingle. That is our 16 cars on the racetrack right now. Tyler Vickery making his way out of the pits. Looks like he's got that car repaired. Richard Elliott in the 02. Looks like they've also finished off some repairs. All right, we get back up here to the front. It's been a great race here tonight so far for the Dega Pros Arca Stars and Stripes Friday night series for the Dega Pros. I think this might be the last race of the night. If you're out there and you haven't gotten into this money racing before and you want to get into it, check them out on the Discord. You'll see some links up on some of the Facebook pages. But if you want to get involved in this super speedway racing every single night, there's at least a couple of groups that'll run anywhere from about 8 o'clock Eastern on to about 10 or 11 o'clock a lot of nights. So reach out to these guys. They're looking to build this group up a little bit. If you can get some more drivers involved, we got 28 here tonight. They started this race. Looks like we're down to about 20. See, Merck is still out on the racetrack. We got 22 cars on the racetrack. Our sponsor for the night, Charlie Morgan, looks to be out of this race. All right, one more time, and hopefully for the last time, pace car is going to pull off into pit road as we head off of turn number 4 here, and it's going to be Osmanoff and Mellicar going to bring us to the line. The 89 and the 84 coming through the restart zone. And we are green flag one more time here at Talladega for the Dega Pros. Osmanoff with a good jump. He has got some separation. Watch him jump up to the top here. He had to come up. Oh, Mellicar's going to look to the outside. I thought Mellicar might jump back down to the bottom, so Osmanoff come up here to block off that run. That's Harper split it. So now we're 3 wide here for about 3rd and 4th and 5th. Osmanoff now out front. Freeman, Matt Lee, Justin Mellicar in the 89 up there on the outside. And here comes the 23 of Matt Lee. Matt Lee right down on the bottom of the racetrack. Let's go back to this horizontal tower. Blocks us to the screen. So Carson Freeman now has made his way to the front. He has got the 23 of Lee with a shoving him the 17 of Raleigh right there as well. Derek was involved in a little bit of an incident here just a few laps ago, so good recovery from him. We're going to come across the line, 12 to go. And right now it is Carson Freeman, Matt Lee, Derek Raleigh, Brandon Silix right now, and J.R. Miller's going to round out our top 5. That outside line, we're 3 wide back here. And you can see right there in the middle, here comes the 48 of Bassinet. Bassinet trying to get back to the front. He's getting some help from the 89 of Osmanoff and Christopher Carter there in the 17, but it's Mellicar way up on. Oh, Bassinet's going to jump to the top of the racetrack. I didn't mean to kind of make a shocking noise there, but it kind of startled me there for a second. But it just jumped right up there. He's going to jump back in the middle, pick up Harper. They're going to leave Silix stuck up there on the outside with Mellicar behind him. But right now, this is our action. We're 4 wide now, coming off of turn number 4. Right back here in the middle of the pack, I see Malik Gray there in the middle. Silix up there, and that's a little contact, and around goes Carter. Is Carter going to save it right there? The 17, no, he's not. He's going to come back up the racetrack, collect the 5 of McCullough. We come off of that corner 4 wide. Looks like Malik Gray might have got a little involved here. He's down the apron, or is he just down there to get out of the way after the caution? We'll have to see. Go back and take one more look at it. We're under caution again for the 4th time here at Talladega. All right, let's see if we can see what happened here to Carter. We're 4 wide here. You got Carter on the bottom, Jones there in the middle, Malik Gray, Mellicar, the 808 of Silix coming up, and it looks like what did he just get? What happened to him right there? Did he get somebody come down his nose there? Let's see what got Carter started to get sideways there. You see Carter down there on the bottom. He comes up. They just kind of touch. There's just not enough room. The 4 cars right there. I don't think they all knew they were 4 wide right there, and they just get together. Carter on the bottom. Jones right next to him right there. They started beating and banging just a little bit, and unfortunately, Carter's going to pay for the worst of it. Joshua McCullough there in the 5, also going to get involved. We saw Malik Ray. I think they're just kind of spreading out up here on the caution. So, all right, caution number 4 here at Talladega for the Dega Pros. We're going to see how this shakes out. I don't think we need to pit. We've only got 1 green-white checkered. If we had multiple green-white checkers, I could possibly see somebody coming down in here and taking on some fuel, but I think everybody's going to stay out there on the racetrack. So our leader now is going to be the 4 of Carson Freeman. Let's take a look at our lap leaders here tonight. So 7 different drivers have led laps. Malik Ray's led 11. Trevor Oshmanoff with 9. Carson Freeman, Freddie Bassinis was 3. Matthew Patton, Brandon Silex, and Matt Lee with 1. Mark Vondell with an EOL penalty there for some reason. We'll see what happened there. Maybe he came in on a closed pit. We'll see how that worked out for him. Biggest gainers of the race here. Nathan Harper up 21 spots, started in 28th up to 7th. Matt Lee, Brandon Silex, both up double-digit spots. Joseph, keep calling him. We're going to go Joseph Allen, and he's up 12 spots. Trevor Osmond now up 11. Sometimes I wonder how they pay me for this. I can't even pronounce names. It looks like our lucky dog going by there on the outside. It looks like that's the 04 of Ambrose Nebel. I'm pretty sure the K's silent. It wouldn't be Knebel, right? It's got to be Nebel. All right, so Freeman, we got lights still on the pace car coming off of turn 2 down the back straight. We're going to go around at least another lap and a half. Appreciate you still sticking here with us. We've got about 10 laps left to go. 9 would come across the stripes. So we're going to restart with about 8 to go. My name's Chris Murphy with DRSN, Digital Racing Sports Network. We cover a wide array of races, so if you got something out there you're looking to get coverage for. And also, the one thing I need to mention too, any of these graphics you're seeing Neville down there with a lucky dog, you're seeing some of these things popping up on the screen you don't normally see in a lot of different broadcasts. These are some special, what they call plugins for this SDK software that we use for these overlays. These are put together by my buddy Shane Cochran over at Collateral Damage Sports Network. If you're you got a broadcast out there, even if you're just a streamer and you want to get some good overlays up on your stream, on your Twitch stream or your YouTube stream, whatever you're doing, check to get on the SDK Discord. Find Shane Cochran over there. He'll get you hooked up. He is doing some fantastic stuff. He's putting together graphics. SDK's been around for a while with these overlays, and we have not had the quality of different. I mean, it's a good piece of quality software in the first place, but to be able to bring together some of these other different graphics that you just don't normally see, it really adds to the broadcast for a lot of different people. So if you got some stuff, check it out. All right, quit bragging on my buddy Shane. Carson Freeman, Matt Lee, J.R. Miller, Derek Riley, Trevor Osmond, Freddie Bassinis, Nathan Harper, Malik Ray, Justin Mellicar, Brandon Silex. That's your top 10 right now. As we're going to go back to green with 8 laps left to go. 40-lap race. We got 31 down right now. We have ran 4 cautions here for quite a few laps here. I don't have my button up here that would tell me how many caution flag laps we've had, but it's been quite a few. I bet we've ran probably at least 10 out of the 31. Let's take a look at some teammates here. So Carson Freeman, the Dega Pros. Carson Freeman there in first. Charlie Morgan, Patton, and Ward all out of this race. So Carson Freeman, the lone Dega Pros driver, still in this race. PGR Esports, J.R. Miller out here all by himself. Jack Shack, we have... Actually, here we go. We got teammates Freddie Bassinis and Malik, but Jack Shack driver Trevor Osmond, Nathan Harper, Justin Mellicar, all 3 there in the top 10. McCullough Motorsports, Richard Elliott, Mark Mondell, and McCullough sitting back here at 13th, 17th, and 19th. We got Neville's in the Blind Squirrel Racing, so it doesn't pop up. I don't have a logo for it. All right, so we're going to go green for the 5th time after caution number 4. We've been pretty good on the restarts, actually. It's usually a half a lap or a lap after that we start having some kind of an incident. So cautions usually breed cautions. Once we have the first one, they just keep on coming. That's exactly what's been going on here. So 4 caution flags. We got 8 laps left to go. When we come across the line, we're going to take the green flag. It's going to be Freeman, Lee, Raleigh, Miller, your top 4. We come up into the Corbin. We're going to call it the Corbin Matthews restart zone. Freeman's got a little bit of a head start down at the bottom. Lee's up on the outside. He's going to get a good push there from Miller. And we are green flag one more time. Lee on the outside. Miller's not really close enough to help. Osmonaut's going to look to the outside. Lee sees that coming. He jumps up there to cover it off. And here comes Malik Ray. That leaves J.R. Miller all by himself with no help right in the middle of the racetrack. Outside line off of 2. Looks to be the strongest. Matt Lee in the 23. We're shaking up here in the middle of the field. You see Freddie Bassness there in the middle. Freeman jumps up to the middle of the racetrack. Leads us. Oh, we're going to be 4 wide. We're going to crash again. It looks like kind of a little shaking, shuffling around right there. Raleigh's going to end up turned around. I didn't see anybody else spun around, but I see Merck up here in some heavy damage still on the front of that car. I think with this many cautions, he'd be able to fix that by now. But the 17 of Raleigh goes around. We're going to take a look at that in real speed instead of a nice slow-mo like we've been doing. All right, so we see the 17 right here. Let's find a really good angle here. Down on the bottom. Freeman leaves him hanging. Raleigh tries to kind of follow him up there. I don't think he even realized that the other cars are on his outside at that point. He gets into the 48. The 808 kind of has a run on the bottom. He tries to sneak in there, but they're about 5 wide at that point. There's just not enough room. So it kind of, tends to happen sometimes. You get kind of tunnel vision on the car in front of you. And I think that's what happened right there. Raleigh saw Freeman going up the racetrack and just tried to follow him. And unfortunately, they were 3 wide up on his outside, so really nowhere to go. See if we can take a look one more time. But let's see here. Oh, we are under caution number 5, or did they pull it in? Yeah, okay. All right, we'll take a look here one more time. We'll go see if we can go to the in-car here. And just watch. What you're gonna see here is you're gonna see Matt Lee start to go up the racetrack and just watch the steering wheel. Actually, it looks like he holds it pretty straight. I thought maybe he tried to follow him up there. I'm going to look at that one more time in real time here while we're still under caution. See the 17 on the bottom. Watch the 4. Nah, from the in-car, he doesn't really turn the wheel, but from the outside of the car, it definitely looks like he came up the racetrack. So we're not really trying to lay blame on anybody. We're just kind of trying to break it down a little bit for ourselves to see what happened. But unfortunate there for the 17 that made his way up to the front. And he is now going to have to come down and pit. So we're going to get a few drivers coming into pit here. We've got 7 to go. I'm actually surprised we're not seeing Merck coming down here and trying to get more of that damage done on the front of that 60. Looks like he's going to get a wave around here. All right, 6 laps left to go. All right, I see a few of us still out there. Appreciate you being there in the chat, Devin. Really appreciate you participating out there tonight. I saw Baker's mom out there somewhere. I'm not sure. Lisa Winter, thank you. All right, take a look here at Matt Lee. Matt Lee started back in 21st, now leading this race in the Mark Martin throwback and Win Dixie. We got a lot of throwback cars out here tonight. Trevor Osmoth involved in a caution earlier, now up to second, back at second. Actually, he's led quite a bit of this race. Malik Ray, after leading this race, fell back to the back up to the front, now to third. As we're going to come across the line here, 5 to go. We're going to go green here with probably about 4 laps left to go. What else do we have here for us? Who came in and pitted? I don't see anybody pitted. That doesn't really help us. It pitted way back on 9 laps ago. Take a look at our lap leaders here one more time. Ray still led the most laps with 11. Osterroth with 9. Freeman, Matt Lee, Freddie Bassnett, Matthew Patton, and Brandon Sykes have all led laps in this race. Let's look at our wrench wranglers here. Jeff Merkus spent 7 minutes repairing that number 69, and he may end up as a lucky dog here. He may end up back on the lead lap. But you can see quite a few drivers out here spent quite a bit of time on pit road getting repairs done. Michael Dunn with 5+ minutes. Carson Freeman with a couple of minutes. We call that the wrench wrangler. We're trying to see how many drivers have been in the pits and how long they've been in there. AI Chief, check it out. If you're looking for some help, go check out AIChiefRacing.com. It's really cool. I played with it a little bit. I've got to use it some more, but I'm usually not racing. I'm usually up here doing this. But it's a really cool app, AI app to help you out with all your pit stop strategies. What I like about it is I don't have to worry about pushing any buttons for pit stops. I can just say, hey, Chief, give me 4 tires, you know, fuel only, whatever I need to say, give it a command and it'll do it. But it'll also kind of yell back at you if you do something stupid. So it's a pretty fun app. Check out AI Chief. They just jumped on board with us here tonight. All right. Lights are out on the pace car one more time. We're under our 5th caution flag here for the Dega Pros. Stars and Stripes Series. Matt Lee, Trevor Osmanoff, Justin Millicar, Malik Ray, Dylan Jones. So we just bring up our top 10 right here. Nice little graphic here as well. We just play with all our graphics while we're under caution. And you can see Lee, Osmanoff, Millicar, Malik Ray, Dylan Jones, Carson Freeman, Freddie Bassnett, Tyler Vickery up to the 8th spot right now. Brandon Sykes and Nathan Harper. That's your top 10 as they are on the racetrack right now. All right, we're going to come across the line. 4 to go. We have 1 green, white checkered, 1 overtime to use if we need it. That is a great shot. Just show you how long that back straightaway is at Talladega. If you haven't been to Talladega, if you get a chance to go to Alabama, to take the tour around that place. This place is a monster to walk around. I took the bus ride around this place when I was probably like maybe 16 or something like that. So like 40 some odd years ago, so it's changed a lot since then. All right, Eric Raleigh with a black flag here in the 17. I think he came down to the closed pit. All right, pace car is down. Going to pull down off the pit road here in about a few hundred feet. Matt Lee, Trevor Osmanoff, Millicar, Ray, your top 4. I see the 27 of Jones back there. Jones is always a different number whenever I see him. All right, so here we go. One more time. Hopefully for the last, we're going to go green here after caution number 5. Matt Lee going to bring us to the stripe, gets a good run, and he's got the 88 Ray right there with him. That bottom line is going to get a good run. They're going to clear Osmanoff, but here comes the outside. Lee is going to move up and block off that run from the 89 and leaves Malik Ray down there by himself. So the 23 of Matt Lee now up to the top of the racetrack, way up against the outside wall. Has the 89 of Osmanoff and Millicar right there with him. Jones, Ray able to slide into the 5th spot, but here comes the bottom. It looks like the 4 of Carson Freeman down there on the bottom of the racetrack. We're 3 wide down the back straightaway, 4 laps left to go, 3.5 laps left to go. We'll have 3 to go as we come across the stripe. There's still 3 wide back here in the middle. I see J.R. Miller now in the middle with Carson Freeman down on the bottom. Vaughn Dell now snuck his way up here to the front of the field on the 59. He's trying to push the 78. He's going to look underneath. He's going to try to make it 4 wide. Thought the better of it. He's going to slide back up behind the 78 of Miller. So I'm keeping an eye on that back there in the middle. About 10th on back right now as they're running 3 wide. We come across the line. 3 to go right now for Matt Lee in the 23. Trevor Osmanoff, Justin Millicar, Jones. Here comes Ray. Looks down to the bottom. He's got help from his teammate of Bassinas. Jones tried to get down there, but he was too late. Watch the 89 try to come down and block this off. Is he going to make it down or no? He is going to stay up on the top of the racetrack. He's going to stay committed to the 23. The 88 of Ray and Bassinas not able to get all the way up alongside of our leaders. Down the back straightaway here one more time. Oh, and we're going to get Millicar up into the front of Harper right there. And around goes Jones off the nose of the 5. The 18 of Harper upside down. Heavy damage on the front of the 18, so we are going to have to use up our first overtime. We'll see what happened. The first thing I saw was McCullough and Harper going around. Everybody fighting up there. Jones is going to get an EOL. That may be a race control call right there. So we'll go back in here and take a look in our super slow-mo. So to see the 62 already damaged back there. He's going off the back of the racetrack. That was a completely different incident. Let's see if we can find the best camera angle here. All right, so we're going to take a look here. So we're going to take a look here at Jones. It starts right there around the 27. He's got McCullough right there behind him. Jones goes down to the bottom. McCullough goes there with him. I got to find another good angle here. Here we go. And it just looks like the 5 just kind of came up off the back of the 27. Take a look at that here. Maybe Jones had to check up a little bit from Mellicar. He did. So Jones checked up a little bit. McCullough didn't really expect it. He gets into the back of Jones. That turns him down into Freeman. And unfortunate there for Harper. Can't even get a camera that shows him. There he is. So Harper with heavy contact. We'll take a look here and see what happened to Nathan. We're on board here with the 18. He's up on the outside. You can see the 27 and the 5 get there. Harper goes for a ride up into the outside wall. He is going to barrel roll down the back straightaway. He comes down and finishes it off by running into the door of the 808. So Harper just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was up there on the outside of the racetrack just trying to make a move. They got together down below him, come up into the 18. All right, we're going to have one attempt at a green-white checkered, and that is going to be it. So when we go green, that'll be for the last time. Jeff Merck with a black flag. Bondell also get the black flag. Richard Elliott as well. Guessing some of these drivers might have came in. Dunn's also with the black flag. So we got a bunch of drivers in the pits right now. All right. All these drivers pitted back on lap 25. I don't think fuel's going to be an issue here. You know, if it was real racing, I'd say they were down there on the bottom trying to save fuel. Maybe it works in our racing. I don't know. Somebody in chat let me know. But normally you see drivers down there on the bottom trying to save fuel when they're close to running out. Maybe that's what these guys are doing. I'm not quite sure. Here we can see Awesome Rock down the bottom. Matt Malik Ray as well. But our leader is the 23 of Matt Lee. All right, we're going to get one attempt at this. We're going to see if we can finish this off. We've got 6 cautions tonight. We normally don't have this many cautions in a 40-lap race. Not with this group of drivers, but we've had... It just goes to show you, you know, like I said, most of these guys here race together just about every single night. They do nothing but super speedway races, Daytona, Talladega, and, you know, and it just goes to show you, you know, just one little mistake, you do something just a little bit wrong, you're not paying attention, you know, you don't have your head screwed on straight at that moment, and it's just going to pile up the field. And we've seen that a couple times here tonight. Just one little mistake from somebody. We've had about, out of these 6 cautions, I think we've had about 3 or 4 pretty big ones. All right, let me see. We're going to go around here one more time. Lights are still on. The pace car yellow flag is still out. I don't see anybody dipping down into the pits, so I think everybody feels like they're pretty good on fuel. Like I said, most of these drivers pitted back on lap 25, so they've got 24 laps. I think they've got maybe close. I'm not quite sure. I thought we were talking with 2 stops with 40, so we're going to see how this shakes out. See if fuel is an issue for anybody. All right, appreciate you stuck here with us through this race. We started about an hour and 10 minutes ago for this 40-lap race at Talladega. My name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Next event for us will be Tuesday night, Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series at Huset's. Don't miss that one. That's a fun show. We had 40 sprint cars last week at Knoxville. Expect the same number, if not more, for Huset's. And many of the iRacing Pro Sprint Car Series drivers will be there with us that night. There's some fantastic racing they put on last week at Knoxville with Tyler Schell bringing home the win for the Dirty Old Bastards. And then Thursday night, we're back with Nitrozone Racing Truck Series at Iowa for some short track adventures. Nitrozone, kind of a newer league, but we had 37 cars last night at Atlanta. Me and my good buddy Tim White on the call for that one. Go back and check that out. That was a really good race at Atlanta last night. All right, we're gonna roll down into turn 3 here. It's Matt Lee. Let's take a look back here. Mark's still out here on the racetrack. He's actually on the lead lap for as much time as he has spent in the pits. Where is Jeff Merck in that 60? Did he get that thing repaired? No, he still got some. I think he's finally got that 60 fully repaired right there. So Jeff Merck, as we saw earlier, spent a whole bunch of time in the pits, but he's back on the lead lap. Back there in 16th. That's a long way to the front in just a couple of laps, but I've seen Merck do crazier things before, so we'll see what happens. Matt Lee, Osmoth, Melikar, Ray, Tyler Vickery, Freddie Basson is your top 6 right now. We're going to come to the line here one more time. Pace car pulls down to the infield once again. I think I've said that about 6 times tonight, maybe 7. We're going to go green. Who's going to go with who? Melikar already shoving the 89. Ray backed off of Matt Lee right there on that restart. I don't know if you saw that or not, but he kind of backed up to the 48. Let Lee get away just a little bit. Let's see how that pays off as they head down the outside. Lee on the outside. He jumps up and covers off the 89, but down on the bottom, it's the 88 and the 48. That outside line's pretty well organized. Matt Lee, Trevor Osmoth, Justin Melikar, Tyler Vickery. That is your outside. Down on the bottom, we got Malik Ray and the 48, and around goes the 62 and the 27. Jones involved again. We saw that back there happen in the backfield. It looked like the going around was the 27, so the 62 and the 27 involved. We get back up to the front. We're going to stay green flag. One overtime session here right now. Michael Dunn with a meatball flag. 62 out of this race here late. It's Lee, Osmoth. Watch Ray and Melikar now up there on the outside. Watch Lee and Bassness on the bottom. The teammates, they got Carson Freeman there in the 4. We're going to come across the line. 1 lap to go. Matt Lee, Trevor Osmoth on the outside, but do not give up on Ray and Bassness on the bottom. They have got organized down there. They've both got a ton of laps on this super speedway. They are teamed up on the bottom with the 4 of Freeman. Right now, the 23 of Lee up on the outside. He's going to have to drop down to the bottom here in a minute if he sees that inside line coming. Matt Lee, Osmoth. Watch Matt Lee. He is going to dance right back and forth here. He sees Ray coming. He sees it in the mirror, but he's not going to get down in time. The 88 up alongside as they get into 3 and 4. Matt Lee's not able to get down and block that run, or is he? I think Ray might be up along too far. No, they got it cleared. Matt Lee going to come off of turn number 4 with a good lead. He's got Trevor Osmoth shoving him to the line. They stayed teamed up on the outside. Matt Lee's going to owe this to the Osmoth for shoving him to the win here, but it's going to be Matt Lee, 89 of Osmoth to the outside, and it's going to be Matt Lee taking the win. Coming across the line, the 89 of Osmoth stayed right there with him. I thought he was going to drop down to the bottom and try to take the win away from him. He tried to move to the outside right at the last second, but the 89 staying right there with the 22, shoving him through 3 and 4. Shoved Matt Lee right there to the lead. Great job sticking together. They saw that inside line coming. We'll go back and watch that last lap here again and find the replay of it. Our winner is going to be the 23 of Matt Lee. All right, so we see him head down the back straightaway right now. So Lee up here on the outside. He's got the 89. I thought Malik Ray and Bassness were going to have a good run. You can see the 48 just bumping the 88 here off the corner. I thought they were going to get good enough run on the bottom, but the 23 and the 87 stuck together on the outside. Melikar there as well. You can see Osmoth's going to wait till the last second to jump to the outside. That was close at the line. Matt Lee jumped all the way down to the bottom. He saw Osmoth jump to the outside and drove down to the bottom of the racetrack. Fantastic win there for Matt Lee. Let's see if anybody is up here in the booth with us here. All right, we got top 3 in the waiting room. All right, Matt, I know you're there with me. I got to change some audio settings here. Just a second. All right. All right, you got me now. Are you there, Matt?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. We got you now. Hey, man, fantastic run there tonight. I mean, I know we run a lot of these Dega Pro races on Friday nights. You guys run a lot of super speedways throughout the weeks. I didn't really expect to have 6 caution flags here tonight. How about you?
Um, yeah, I think we all kind of expect it with the Arca car. Guys aren't patient with the runs that come, and yeah, you get nights like tonight. So that's kind of why early on in the race, I didn't even try to race for the first, I don't even know, half of the race. Kind of just found myself sitting there
On that,
inside the top 5 and, just hanging out.
well, on that last restart, it looked like Malik kind of backed off you there, kind of let you get alone there a little bit. I thought it might allow them to get a run on you into one, but you actually did a good job moving up to the outside in front of Trevor, and Trevor stuck there with you that whole last couple of laps, right there till the end before he tried to make a move. And I really think, I mean, were you guys working together? Or you just kind of happened to find each other there at the end?
Yeah, we just kind of found each other there at the end. Him and Melikar and Dylan, we were all lined up at the previous restart before Dylan got wrecked. So, the 4 of us, I think we're just going to try to stick together and fight it out at the end.
Well, great run there tonight, man. We don't usually get on here and get to cover some of these, so it was a fun race to watch anyway. You put on a heck of a show. But hey, man, before we let you go, you got anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. John Moore for putting this on. All the guys that showed up. Trev, big thanks to him for the push there to get us the tri-oval to race it out. And, sucks Baker and Merck didn't have a good race, but hopefully
All right, brother.
soon.
Well, good luck the rest of the weekend, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
All right, buddy.
All right, let's see. I think we've got our second place. All right. Trevor, is that you there, buddy?
That's me.
All right. Your name's not fully on my screen. All I see is a T, so I'm just kind of taking a guess.
Oh, my fault.
No,
Yeah,
that's not your fault, man. Hey, all right. So tell us a little bit how your adventure was from the booth. It was there was a lot going on out there. What did you see?
Oh, baby, it was a lot of chaos, man. These Arca cars are fun. You could do some crazy things in these things, man. You could have hell of runs. You can do all types of stuff. Side draft. Man, these cars are probably one of the best, and I really enjoy it. So, yeah, man, it's just a lot of chaos, a lot of team shenanigans going on, a lot of wrecks, a lot of cool wrecks. A lot of stuff went terribly wrong for other people, but not us. We got second place tonight, so
yeah, Jack Shack's second and third there tonight. You and Melikar right there. So, you had got involved in that one little incident earlier. I know you can't see the broadcast right now, but we got a little chart that shows your kind of progression throughout the race. And at one point, you're all the way down there to 18th. But it really doesn't matter here on these super speedways. You can pretty much go from the back to the front, back to the back up to the front if you got some friends.
Yeah, my boy Landon does this thing where he gets bored and he just goes to the back and goes to the front during these races, and I did it 3 times because I don't know if you know this or not, but I just came back from a sabbatical. I had a perma ban for some pit board shenanigans. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, this is like my 3rd race back, so yeah, man, I was just taking my time, just figuring stuff out, taking runs. Really, this was just a Friday night having a good time with the boys. So yeah, man, we're just out here. Jack Shack, baby. Jack Shack's always rocking.
Well, good job. Hey, man, you're going to have some more races going on this weekend, I'm sure. I know we've got a couple more super speedway. I mean, you guys are doing this every single night. Good to see you back out here. But anybody else you want to give a thanks to before I let you go?
Oh, yeah, baby. Always and forever. I hope we can become good buddies here now because this is the first time I get to talk to you, Chris. So my name's Trev.
Good to meet you, buddy.
Jack Shack, number 89. And yeah, man, I got a shout out to the Jack Shack. Landon was spotting us, and David was in there cheerleading Chase's band. So he was also in there with us. And shout out to Justin. I don't know, the guys tonight raced just really clean, so I can't be mad at them for that. There was a lot of clean racing up front for shenanigans that was going on. And shout out to John Ward for putting these on Friday nights. And yeah, man, we're ready. I'm enjoying these. This is these races I kind of look forward to. It's just like I said, it's a Friday night, just relax, having a good time. cutting the sleeves off, drinking a couple brewskis, and having a good time, man. So I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast. And appreciate y'all for putting on this show. Hopefully we can see you next week. Maybe we'll win, because I hate finishing second. So hopefully we get a win.
I ran second a lot in my career, and I agree with you, buddy. You might as well be last if you're not first. So
that's what I'm saying.
All right, man. Have a good rest of the weekend, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. That was Trevor Osman. You know, I should have asked him if I was pronouncing his name right. I always ask that, and I kind of forgot about it. So, all right, we got a third place finisher, Justin Melikar. Justin, you got Chris in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Excellent, man. Really good to see you up here tonight. Jack Shack second and third right there. You kind of stuck right there with Trevor. And the two of you really stuck with Matt right there towards the end. I think if you hadn't have been there, I think that bottom line might have had a run. Were you guys talking to each other at all, or was it just pretty much you and Trevor and just kind of sticking with Matt?
I mean, it was definitely like, in terms of talking, we weren't talking in like a Discord or anything, but it's one of those things where if Matt Lee took the top there, Trev would have been pinned on the bottom. So it put us in a good spot. And, you know, when people help us out, it's kind of like an unwritten thing of like, hey, we're going to try and do our best to help you. So kind of like that.
Well, it was quite the adventure out there tonight. We had 6 caution flags. I didn't see which ones you were involved in, but I don't think anybody got through this night unscathed. Did you have any repairs you had to do throughout the evening?
I think I had like 40 seconds of front end damage at one point, but nothing crazy. Honestly, I just usually in these types of races, I can tell if they're going to be a wreck fest or not, and then kind of just play it by ear. And we hung out in the back for a little bit and stayed out of trouble.
Well, man, that was a great run. Really fun to watch tonight. It's our first time covering the Dega Pros. You guys put on a heck of a show. And, you know, I know you guys got a bunch of stuff going on for the rest of the weekend. But so good luck with whatever you got going on there. But hey, anybody else you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, shout out to you for broadcasting, Ward for putting these races on every week, and the Jack Shack.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks again, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yep, thank you.
All right, got one more driver here in the waiting room we're going to bring up. Malik, Malik, are you there, buddy? You got Chris in the booth. Hello.
Hey, bro, what's up?
How you doing, man? I wanted to cut you off mid-conversation there. I know you guys were in the waiting room. Appreciate you jumping in there. Yeah, you know, you led most of the laps in this race, and at one point you jumped to the back. Was that a little strategy game, or were you just kind of bored? You wanted to go play around? What was going on there?
No, I just saw some of the people up front, and I just assumed that they were gonna, get too little, I don't know, just too antsy for me. So I just dropped to the back. I was just trying to save my car, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was quite a few cautions here tonight, but you ended up getting teamed up with Freddie there at the end of this. I thought you guys were going to have enough of a run there on the bottom. Is there anything else you could have done differently there to get that bottom to work? Because it looked like Matt, Trevor, and Justin were teamed up pretty well on that outside line.
Not really. At the end of the race, there wasn't really much we could do. I think all 3 of them were all lined up together up top, and the guy in fourth, he didn't have any aspirations of trying to go like around them, so they were just sitting in line. And then if you get cars, that are gonna just sit in line up there, it's hard to do anything on the bottom. But they played it smart, so shout out to them.
I was going to ask one of the other guys, and I kind of forgot. So I know these ARCA cars have been historically known for if you try to push for too long on somebody, you're going to end up turning them around. And I heard that they maybe did a little bit of an update on the update earlier in the week. Did you notice any difference tonight, or was the shoving just about the same as it's been?
I never try to lock bumpers with anyone. I always try to just make sure that I am like bumping it and not like pushing like the whole time. So like I didn't really notice a difference because I know how it was before. And even though, iRacing says they updated, I don't really trust them. So I really just bump because I don't think it's any slower. So
no, I understand that. Yeah, I've ran these a couple times myself, and that's the same thing. They take a pretty good shot on the when you're bumping sometimes, but yeah, when you get locked up, man, they're just a handful. And I think that may have been a couple cautions we saw tonight was just from that. So. But hey, man, I know you got anything else going on the rest of the weekend you want to give a plug to? You want to give a shout out to anybody? But great run there, coming home in fourth. I know it's not what you wanted, but you still finished in the money. So
Yeah, man. Shout out to JRM, Logitech, and Freddie for his pushing on the, on the last 2 laps, and all of my teammates and everyone up front for keeping it clean, and you for broadcasting. I appreciate all you guys. So thank you.
All right, man. I really appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you sometime next week.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You bet. Take care. All right, that is going to wrap it up for our interviews. So we'll take a look here at our podium. Let's see if we can get some of this other stuff off the screen here. So Matt Lee coming home with a win for Team NBG. I think I asked somebody what NBG stood for, and they couldn't tell me. But Jack Shack teammates Trevor Oswanoth and Justin Millick are going to come home 1 and 2. We'll pull up our rest of our results here. Do I have the qualifying? I did have the race this time. Usually I'm still stuck clicked on qualifying. So as we said, Lee, Oswanoth, Millick, your top three. Malik Ray, who we just talked to, in 4th. David Sheets, Freddie Basson, Tyler Vickery, Carson Freeman, Joseph Allen, Mark Mondell going to round out the top. They're going to round out the top 10 right there. In 11th, Christopher Carter, Carl Lingle, Richard Elliott, just about everybody back here got involved in some of these late race cautions. J.R. Miller in a 78 started in 2nd. He's going to come home in 14th. Brandon Silex, Jeff Merck, Michael Dunn, Joshua McCullough involved in a pretty heavy incident earlier in the race. Falls back to 18th. Dylan Jones in 19th. Ambrose Neville in the 20th spot. We'll go back one more row here. Nathan Harper, after running up front for a lot of the night, falls back to 21st. Derek Raleigh, Charlie Morgan, Matt Patton, Terry Wilson, Tim White, Matt Baker, and John Ward. So John Ward, I think, was race control. He didn't even start the race, and Baker out early in this one. Let's see, hard charge of the event. Matt Lee, our winner, started back in 21st all the way up, moved 20 spots. Also led the most laps with 12. Also the fastest lap. Kind of a clean sweep right there for Matt Lee. The only thing he didn't get was the pole. That was Malik Ray on the pole. All right. So that is going to do it for us here tonight at Talladega with the Dega Pros. Congratulations to our winner, Matt Lee, in the 23. You can see him going across the line right here. But my name is Chris Murphy with DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network. Thanks a lot to John Wood from Dega Pros for having us. Charlie Morgan reaching out, sponsoring the event. We've had a really great time tonight. Don't forget to check us out next Tuesday night with the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series from Houston Speedway. But with that, we're going to get out of here for the night. We'll see you again next time here on DRSN.